Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host Doug here with your video blog for September 15th, 2014. I have a great blog planned for you today as we're going to go around both college and professional football. We'll talk a little NASCAR at Chicago. We'll take a look at your MLB standings. But first I want to get to the big news that came last night via ESPN reports. Ray Rice will appeal his indefinite suspension by the NFL. I think when you look at this, I think everybody really saw this coming. It's kind of the step you take once you get suspended indefinitely. Ray Rice is going to come out and try to appeal that and get that reduced or just get an actual number put on his suspension. I don't think this is a bad move for Ray, but I do think this could be a bad move for the NFL. I think this will bring more of what's been going on inside the NFL offices to light with this case, and we could see some more heads roll in this situation. And I think the guy that's under the most pressure, as we've talked about before, is Roger Goodell, the commissioner. If we can any way find out that he saw any of that video, Roger Goodell is going to be on the hot seat, and he could lose his job. Ultimately, with the suspension, what should be decided? I think really the best thing that should be decided is just give this guy a 2-year ban. Ban him for 2 years, let him get his life figured out, and then ban him for 2 years, and then at the end of the 2 years, allow him to reapply for reinstatement back into the league. Okay? I think that's the best move. I think that's something we could see by the NFL, and we'll see what happens. But it'll be interesting to see if more information comes to light from this. Alright, time for everybody's favorite Monday segment as we're going to go around the Shield. My picks from the weekend so far, I'm 2-2. That puts me at 4-5 overall. We'll do a little Monday Night Football pick review here in a minute. But first, it is now time to go around the Shield. Cincinnati Bengals get to 2-0 for the first time since 2006. The Bengals beat the Falcons 24-10 behind the strong running game of Hill and Bernard. Chicago Bears rally from down by 17 against the 49ers. Chicago wins 28-20. Houston Texans are 2-0 as they take down Derek Carr and the Raiders 30-14. Green Bay rallies. Marty Morningwig calls a late timeout on a touchdown. Green Bay beats the Jets 31-24. Denver holds off a late charge by Alex Smith and the Kansas City Chiefs. Denver's 2-0 as they win 24-17. St. Louis gets a nice running game from Zach Stacy. Tampa Bay struggles once again, and the Rams get the win 19-17. Antonio Gates reels in 3 touchdown passes. Phillip Rivers throws for over 280, and Seattle falls to the Chargers 30-21. Buffalo gets a 102-yard kickoff return from C.J. Spiller as the Buffalo Bills are 2-0 as they take down the Dolphins 29-10. RG3 dislocates his ankle. Kirk Cousins comes in, goes 22-33, 2 touchdown passes. Washington beats Jacksonville 41-10. Dallas behind a strong running game from DeMarco Murray and no turnovers by Tony Romo. They beat the Titans 26-10. Giants led early. Cardinals lead late. Arizona takes down the Giants 25-14. New England all over the Minnesota Vikings 30-7 off a Chandler Jones 95-yard punt or field goal block return for a touchdown. Cleveland upsets New Orleans 26-24 on a late day field goal. Carolina, with Cam Newton's return, really shines. Defense plays well. Carolina 24-7. They're 2-0. And our Thursday night game was Baltimore 26, Pittsburgh 6. That is around the Shield. Now we're going to look at our most surprising 2-0 team. And I think our most surprising 2-0 team are 2 teams, actually. I'm going to pick the Buffalo Bills, who beat the Bears and then beat the Miami Dolphins, and then the Houston Texans, who have the best point differential in the league at plus 27. They're running the ball more effectively. I like what they're doing with the ball. Ryan Fitzpatrick is playing good enough. So those are my 2 most surprising teams at 2-0. And my best 0-2 team, I would have to say the best 0-2 team are the New Orleans Saints. I think they've played pretty well. They've lost on 2 field goals. They've been outscored by a total of 4 points in their 5 points in their first 2 losses. We'll see if they can get it going. They got the Vikings coming in next week, so that should be pretty interesting. All right, Monday pick review. Of course, I picked the Eagles to win on the road. I think the Eagles have a better offense, and I think Indy cannot stop anybody on defense. I'll take the Eagles in this one by 4. All right, NASCAR, the chase for the Sprint Cup got underway yesterday with our Challenger round of the chase, and it was quite an exciting race for sure. Brad Keselowski gets the big win, but the real story of the race was Kyle Larson, a guy who just missed the chase. He came out and ran the race of his life, ran hard, made some late race moves, and almost won the race, but Brad Keselowski was too much to handle, and because of the win, Brad Keselowski will move on to the next round, which will be our round of 12, which will occur in the next couple of weeks. Just a quick points update. Keselowski on top. Gordon, 7 points back of him. Logano, 10 back. Then we got Harvick in 4th. Junior 5th. Hamlin 6th. Busch 7th, tied with Johnson. So Hamlin, Busch, and Johnson are tied. Kurt Busch in 9th. Kenseth 10th. Kane 11th. Edwards, currently the last guy in that 12th spot. And the 4 guys on the outside looking in right now: Newman, Allmendinger, Biffle, and Almirola. Okay, so those are the guys that could be on their way out. We'll see who locks up next week as we head to New Hampshire. And that, just remember, Brad Keselowski's hot. He won the last race at New Hampshire back in July. All right, my college football picks didn't go real great. 2-3 on the weekend. I'm now 5-10 overall with that, so really struggling with the college game. But time for my top 4 of the week. And we're going to do the top 4 every week because this will be my playoff teams who will make that college football playoff. Right now, still at number 1, I got Florida State. Oregon was good, but they weren't great against Wyoming. I'm going to keep Florida State there. Oregon's at 2. I still like Alabama at 3 and Auburn at 4. And my teams that are just outside looking in, the 2 Big 12 teams, Oklahoma and Baylor. I think if one of those teams can go unbeaten in that league, I think that team will jump up there. And Notre Dame, who plays the toughest schedule, sitting right there at number 7. They could still make a run at this, so it's going to be interesting to watch. Notre Dame's got some big games coming up, and we'll see if they can get into this playoff. All right, time for your MLB standings update as we head down the stretch, and the races are starting to get away from us. Baltimore 3, their magic number is 3 to clinch the American League East. They got a big win over the Yankees last night. So their magic number is 3. Also, we have, let's see here. So their magic number is at 3. Detroit, 1.5 lead over Kansas City. That one's going to go down the stretch. Angels have run away with the West. They have won 9 out of their last 10. They are the hottest team in baseball right now, looking very dominant heading into the playoffs. Mike Trout swinging the bat very well. Washington, they pulled away in that National League East as Atlanta has really faded. They have a 10.5 game lead. Pittsburgh, 3.5 back of St. Louis, and the Dodgers now lead the Giants by 3 games. But the real story is going to be the wild card standings. Still, we have Oakland in the 1 spot, a 1.5 game up on Kansas City in the 2nd spot, with Seattle just a game back, and Seattle's really the only team in it as the Blue Jays, Indians, and Yankees are now 4, 5, and 5 back. And in the National League, San Francisco leading that one by 3 games over the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are in the 2nd wild card spot, with the Brew Crew just a 1.5 game back. All right, so I'm going to be back on Wednesday. Wednesday's going to kind of be a lot of football stuff. We'll do our Heisman update. I'm going to talk about all these scandals rocking the NFL. We'll talk injury updates. I'm going to give you my NFL power rankings. I'm going to talk about 2 young quarterbacks, Colin Kaepernick and RG3. Is RG3 going to be the future quarterback in Washington? And what's up with Kaepernick? Does he not have a clutch gene? We'll visit those topics on Wednesday. Follow me on sportsmindednews.com. Also follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. You can comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I will be back on Wednesday. Have a good start to your work week.